It's just
All right.
steamy everywhere.
Cameras on.
Mushrooms growing on me. Who wants to be-
I don't want that picture in my head.
So we're all set.
Okay.
Whoever's gonna be the chair, I guess that's decided among us.
I don't Russ.
I don't live in Webster, I can't do it.
How do we do this without a chair?
I'm not the chair, I'm the secretary.
Yeah, I know, you can take this chair.
What am I gonna do?
Actually, my reasons for not wanting to is because I can't remember what the law requires about,
Well, we don't have a
appeal times.
quorum.
I'm sorry?
Well, we don't have a quorum anyway.
We don't have a quorum, okay, well then, I'll act as chair, how's that?
So we were gonna, I figure we give maybe 10 minutes,
Yeah,
see if anybody shows up, and if nobody shows up, then we postpone it to the next meeting. And it was posted that if it didn't happen at this meeting, it would be continued on at the next hearing,
okay.
so we won't have to repost it. Twiddle thumbs, everybody.
So it's not necessarily an exercise in futility, it's
No.
an experience for us, because this is the first time
Sit here
in
and look
11
pretty young.
years, 11, 12 years, that this has happened.
I
Is
think
it?
so. Not since I've been on the board.
Since I've been on the board,
I think you were just ahead of me, so I've been about 10 years.
so.
Never had this happen.
Wow. Well, it is summer, so maybe people are, well, I know two.
Getting
battles.
COVID?
Well, getting COVID, correct. Well, that's unfortunate.
Anybody got a good joke? We're on YouTube.
Yeah. This is just unexpected.
Maybe you all heard my dumb story about the bear, right?
I did hear your story about the bear. It was
I
a
didn't
good
hear the
story.
story about the bear.
Yeah, I had a terrifying experience late one night, getting close to bedtime, and there's banging on my house, and there's high-pitched voices outside. So, you know, the nervous widow,
You call
911.
the chief, right?
Hello, help me, there's somebody outside my house banging on the wall, my poodle alarm is going off the charts, and I don't know what to do with myself. So, okay, we'll have somebody up there, right, okay, and I think that was you on duty, wasn't it, see? And the dog was making so much noise, I wasn't sure I was talking to you. So please understand, I fully respect what you guys do and how much you help us. If I had realized when I called it was a bear, I never would have bothered you. If it was
People don't know.
people, that's another story.
People don't know, so you're better off to call.
But I called dispatch right back and I'm like, please call the cop. Tell them, do not get out of the car. There's freaking bears all over my yard. And the sow was so big, her back was even to the hood of my car.
She was beating on your house?
She was beating on the house and she was showing the little ones how to do it. And then they had claw marks in the flagstones under that living room window. And then they were coming up the stairs, the sow was coming up the stairs and she's looking right at me. I'm in the window going, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. The poodle alarm will not stop. I don't believe what I'm seeing. So I looked her square in the face. She's looking right at me and I went, boo! And she shook her head and turned around and ran away. Then she goes over by the brook and I see 4 sets of blue neon blue. Their eyes reflect blue, not like deer and greenish and bear are blue.
4 bear.
3 babies. She had 3 puppies with her. So I was setting off my car alarm because I figured, well, beep, 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 that'll make up. One of those little shits decided, yeah, really? Ma can go, you can go, you can go? I'm staying. So instead of running away with the car alarm going off, that little creep stood there, stood its ground, turned and walked over to the car and climbed up on the hood. Mind you, I've had this car 3 months.
I'm
I'm pretty sure this got covered in auto insurance.
It wasn't, no, he didn't scratch. There were footprints, you could see the absolute paw prints.
Yeah.
You could see the claw prints and the gravel from where the feet were, but he did not scratch the paint.
Well, how considerate.
I know, but they leave it to me. I almost started drinking that night. And then all night long, you know, the dog is barking and I'm, will you guys just, and they shredded my shepherd's hooks, shredded them. One of them was like 25 years old, you know, the
Oh, wow.
old-fashioned, solid iron shepherd's hook,
And they shredded it.
shredded
You
it.
have the most amazing adventures.
And then there was a mink in the backyard yesterday morning, which is really kind of cool. So it's like a coat without the buttons and sleeves on it yet. that big, hopping, cute, cute, cute. So there's my dumb story that you've gotten here twice now, aren't you blessed?
I am certainly blessed.
Any damage to the house besides the groundwork?
Say that again?
Damage to the house?
No. Nope.
Lucky you. Excellent.
Up on the deck, no, see, they were rattling the railings, so that had to be tightened down a little bit. They knocked loose a couple of hornet nests. That was a pain in the head because the hornets came back in the morning to reclaim their space. The cloths, the car, firewood, and now they've decimated my raspberries.
Oh, sweet.
And they leave me plunkers to thank me for using my,
It's fertilizer, Jay. It's fertilizer.
thank you, for the seeds and. But fortunately, I haven't seen a bear in the yard for a couple of months.
The only bear I see are the evidence of them in the cornfield, and they have a ball out there just swathing down big whole areas of the
They're
cornfield.
fascinating to watch and they're gorgeous to see, but
Yeah, but they can go their way.
I have huge respect for them. I'm not gonna mess with them.
Yeah.
But when you take a bear that weighs 350, did you get to see her that night?
Yeah, she's at least 350.
She was a big freaking bear. And when they stand up, they're bigger than us. And through a window, through glass, boom,
Well,
she took off.
In Alaska, bear safety courses, they tell you if it's a black bear, you can bang them on the nose with anything and they'll run. But browns play dead, and they'll probably still eat you. You know the joke? You're walking down the trail, you see all these little bells in the bear scat. Those are the people that walked down the trail with bells on, thinking that was gonna keep the bears away. It's now in the scat. 5 more minutes?
Well, 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes?
Bye-bye. Well,
I'm still waiting for a joke. Anybody got a good joke?
asking the wrong person.
I noticed that house that was all jacked up. I guess they're putting in a foundation
Yep.
and a whole other level.
They had a whole bunch of rocks there. I think they were more like manufactured rocks, but I thought they were shoring up the shoreline, and they probably did that after they
Well, no, they are
because-
putting a new foundation in.
Yeah,
Putting a
footings went in
foundation.
today, foundation goes tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're fixing the shoreline also?
I don't know exactly what they're doing to the shoreline, but they need a foundation underneath it, because all the pilings underneath it were rotted.
It's
So the
really
house
close
is
to the
starting to
river.
tilt a little, so this'll give them a actual basement and more space.
Oh, they're putting a basement under it?
Yeah,
Excellent.
7 foot deep, so that'll.
Oh, shoot, if you're gonna build a foundation, you gotta have a basement. You gotta
If you're gonna go to the
have a place
hassle
to
of
collect your
jacking the whole
water.
thing up, you might just as well.
Yeah, right. Well, I was telling Dave that they might as well put a swimming pool underneath it, you know, just put some nice little tiles on it. That would
Probably
be
water
nice.
that caused the problem, you probably don't want to pool it. Actually, it was water that caused the problem in the meeting house. That house was built in 1791, and the timbers, big, round, hewn logs, were the basis laid on the ground. Little tiny dust space underneath it. In fact, Jim Garvin told us that in some of those old meeting houses, the chaff from shaving those logs is still underneath there from when the house was built, hundreds of years ago. It kept it so dry. But when they moved it from down in Cogswell's Woods area, the old town of Webster, and put up on the top of the hill, they put it back down on top of those big old logs, and the whole thing started sinking a little bit. So in 1979, they raised up the meeting house and put a whole new foundation under it, and then the water started coming in. And all it is just a crawl space down there, but that was enough. So the water comes in, it vaporizes up through the floorboards, exits out through the clapboards, and rots the clapboards. So we had to put vapor barrier in the bottom, had to seal off the rest of the basement, had to replace a little more than 50% of the clapboards that were on that building and have the whole thing painted again, regrade the outside, new handicap ramp, all of that stuff, because of water. It's not always your friend.
7:09.
Are we at 10?
Now we are.
Okay. I will call this meeting to order. I'm not the chairman, so let me tell you, I don't know how to do this job.
Well, we don't have a quorum.
But we don't have a quorum. So we need to postpone everything on the agenda for 30 days,
Well, till the next meeting,
till the next meeting.
unfortunately. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I am sorry. The first time it's ever happened since I've been on this board.
All right, hit the camera.
Yeah, we've had a couple of meetings, like that, my first Zoom meeting when we did the building on 127, where we didn't have a quorum, but we voted